Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Myself Tamsil Sajid and I'm from the Department of BS Biotechnology. The topic which I'm going to present is properties of liquid. First of all, what is liquid? Liquid is made up of tiny vibrating particles of the matters such as atoms that are held together by intermolecular bonds. Like gas, a liquid is able to flow and take the shape of container. So, properties of liquids are many familiar and observable properties of the liquids can be explained by the presence of intermolecular forces. We all know, for instance, that some liquids such as the water or the gasoline flow easily when poured, whereas others such as the motor oil or maple syrup flow sluggishly. Here following are the properties of the liquids. First one is viscosity, surface tension, vapor pressure, vaporization and condensation, incompressibility, volume and the shape, and last one is boiling point. So let me explain one by one. First one is that viscosity. The measure of a liquid's resistance to flow is called its viscosity. Viscosity is related to the ease with which individual molecules move around in the liquid and thus to the intermolecular forces present. Substances with weak intermolecular forces have relatively low viscosities, while the substances with strong intermolecular forces have relatively high viscosities. Let's compare pentane C5H12 with glycerol C3H5OH3. Pentane, a non-polar molecule, has London dispersion forces that are holding molecules together. The London dispersion forces are relatively weak and therefore pentane has a low viscosity. In contrast, glycerol has 3 hydroxyl groups that can form hydrogen bonds with other glycerol molecules. The intermolecular forces between the glycerol molecules are strong, resulting in a high viscosity. Glycerol is a clear liquid with a viscosity similar to honey. The second one is that surface tension. Another familiar property of liquid is surface tension, the resistance of a liquid to spread out and increase its surface area. Surface tension is caused by the difference in intermolecular forces experienced by molecules at the surface of a liquid and those experienced by molecules in the interior. Molecules at the surface feel attractive forces on only one side and are thus pulled in toward the liquid, while the molecules in the interior are sounding and are pulled equally in all directions. Surface tension allows a water strider to walk on a pond without penetrating the surface. The third one is that vapor pressure. Vapor pressure is a liquid property that is related to evaporation. Because this is a distribution, there will always be a few molecules that have enough kinetic energy to overcome the attractive potential energy of the other molecules and escape this liquid into the gas phase. Vaporization and condensation. First one vaporization. Vaporization, the physical change of state where a chemical entity transforms from a liquid to a vapor, and condensation, the physical change of the state where a chemical entity transfers from a gas vapor to a liquid. Two-phase diagram showing molecules in the liquid phase entering the gas phase, that is vaporization, and those in the gas phase entering the liquid phase, that is condensation. Incompressibility. Liquids are almost incompressible. In liquids, molecules are pretty close to each other. The molecules does not have lots of space between them. The molecules cannot squeeze closer to another. Volume and the shape. The liquids have fixed volume but not fixed shape. They have fixed volume but they do not have fixed or definite shape. If you take 100 ml of the water, pour water in a cup, it will take the shape of a cup. Now pour the liquid from cup to a bottle. The liquid has changed its shape and now it has taken the shape of bottle. The last one is that boiling point. Liquids have their boiling points above room temperature. Under normal conditions, the liquids on heating slowly changes to vapor or gaseous phase. This process is called boiling. Now, phase changes between solids, liquids and gases. We all familiar with seeing solid ice melt to liquid water. Liquid water freezes to solid ice or evaporate to gaseous steam, and gaseous steam condenses to liquid water. Such processes in which a physical form but not the chemical identity of a substance changes are called phase change or changes of a state. Matter in any one state or the phase can change into either of the other form. Solids can even change directly into gases, as occurs when dry ice undergoes sublimation. The various phase changes are: like all naturally occurring processes, every phase change has associated with it a free energy change that is delta G. Delta G is made up of two contributions: an enthalpy part that is denoted by delta H and a temperature dependent entropy part that is T delta S. According to the equation, delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. The enthalpy part is the heat flow associated with making or breaking the intermolecular attractions that holds liquids and solids together, while the entropy part is associated with the difference in the molecular randomness between the various phases. So gases are more random and have more entropy than liquids, which in turn are more random and have more entropy than solids. The melting of a solid to a liquid, the sublimation of a solid to a gas, and the vaporization of a liquid to a gas all involve an increasing in randomness due to the increased mobility of particles. Heat must be absorbed to overcome intermolecular forces holding the particles together. Thus both delta S and delta H are positive for these phase changes. Now, by contrast, the freezing of a liquid to a solid, the deposition of a gas to a solid, and the condensation of a gas to a solid all involves a decreases in randomness due to the decreased mobility of particles. Attractive intermolecular forces form and heat is released in the process. Thus, both delta H and delta S are negative values for these phase changes. Let's look at the transition of the solids to a liquid water and the liquid water to gaseous states to see examples of the free energy relationships during phase changes. In this process, the melting of solid to liquid, sublimation of solid to gas, vaporization of liquid to gas increases randomness, and due to increases the mobility of particles, so delta H and delta S positive and heat is absorbed. Now freezing of liquid to solid, deposition of a gas to solid, condensation of gas to liquid decreases the randomness due to the decreases mobility of particles. Delta H and delta S are negative and heat is releases. Melting of ice to liquid water fusion, delta H is equal to 6.01 kJ per mole and delta S 22 kJ per mole. Vaporization of the liquid water to steam, delta H is equal to 40.67 kJ per mole and delta S is equal to 109 kJ per mole. Both delta H and delta S are larger for the liquid vapor changes than for the solid to liquid changes, because many more intermolecular attractions need to be overcome and much more randomness is gained in the change of the liquid to vapor. This highly endothermic conversion of the liquid water to gaseous water vapor is used by many organisms as a cooling mechanism. When our bodies perspire on a warm day, evaporation of the perspiration absorbs heat and leaves the skin feeling cooler. For phase changes in the opposite directions, the number have the same absolute values but the opposite signs. Freezing of liquid water to ice, delta H is equal to minus 6.01 kJ per mole and delta S is equal to minus 22.0 kJ per mole. Condensation of the water vapor to liquid water, delta H is equal to minus 40.67 kJ per mole and delta 7 is equal to minus 109 kJ per mole. Knowing the values of delta H and delta S for a phase transition makes it possible to calculate the temperature at which the changes occur. Delta H is negative for a spontaneous process, positive for a non-spontaneous process, and 0 for a process at which it is in equilibrium. Thus, by setting the delta G is equal to 0 and solving for T in the free energy equation, we can calculate the temperature and which two phases are in equilibrium. For the solids to liquid phases changes in water, for instance, we have delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S is equal to 0 at equilibrium, or T is equal to delta H over delta S, where delta H is equal to 6.01 kJ per mole and delta S is equal to 22.0 kJ per mole. So T is equal to 273 Kelvin. In other words, ice turns into liquid water and liquid water turns into ice at 273 Kelvin or 0 degrees Celsius at 1 atm pressure. Thank you so much. That's all from my side.